Okay, turn all the lights to 100% brightness.
9 lights to 100%.
Okay, play some lo-fi.
Got it. Here's a Spotify playlist called Lo-Fi Beats.
Recently I've been taking more and more ownership, which I find to be a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, I like taking initiative and getting more responsibility. Then on the other hand, if something breaks, it's all on me. Not that I would blame anyone else anyways, but if I make a mistake, I'm really hard on myself because I try to hold myself to a certain standard, and making amateur mistakes just isn't something I want to be doing. Now I know that everybody makes mistakes, but with code, literally one line can be costly. So I'm really trying to think how the feature works and different corner cases before pushing it forward. Then at this point it was already time for our daily stand-up. Folks are slowly starting their summer vacations, so the meetings are a bit emptier than usual, but I still try to stay on track with everything and take notes during the meetings. I think this is especially important if you're part of a big team, because there can be so many projects going on at the same time that it can be pretty much impossible to keep track of everything if you're not taking proper notes. Also, whenever I have a one-on-one with my tech lead, I make sure to take some notes so that I know what needs to be done in the future. Now I used to take all my notes by hand in Notion, but recently they rolled out their new AI meeting notes feature, which allows you to record meetings straight from inside of Notion and then summarize the meetings after they're done. And one of the things that separates Notion AI meeting notes from other alternatives is that you don't need to have a bot join your meeting. Instead, it records your screen and computer audio and then creates the summary straight from the audio it recorded. But please, before you use this, make sure you let everybody else in the call know that you're recording. The call summaries are of course editable, so if you feel like you want to add or highlight something, you can easily do that. Also, something they've recently added are these LLM integrations for Claude Sonnet 4, GPT 4.1 and Google Gemini 2.5. And this can totally transform the way you use Notion without having to bounce between multiple different apps. Instead, you got everything straight inside of Notion. For example, if you're having technical interviews, you can record the interview with the AI meeting notes feature, use the AI inside of Notion to first summarize it, and then ask the AI to give you tips on how to improve so you can do even better the next time around. Also, if you're preparing for interviews, you can use Notion AI to help you improve your study plan. Just let Notion AI know what kind of positions you're going for and let it handle the rest. So yeah, Notion has really gotten to a point where they've become the all-in-one app for all your work and study related needs. As someone who's been using Notion for years, it's super dope to see how much they've been building over the years. Now if that sparks your interest, I'll leave the first link in the description where you can sign up for Notion AI, and a big thank you to Notion for supporting the channel and sponsoring the video. Alright, managed to test out my feature, about to have some lunch soon. But you might have noticed that I moved my setup from this kind of corner to the middle of my living room. And initially I had set up here so I can kind of separate my work and my living area. Then I realized that I spent way more time working than in the living room, so I was just stuck into this little box here. And ultimately I decided it's better to prioritize my setup for that reason. I'm not really sure what to do with the corner. I just have the lounge chair here and this plant. So let me know some decoration ideas for this specific room. Oh, and on days when it's sunny outside, this corner is actually good. I can just move the lounge chair here and literally tan in my apartment, so that's cool. But this is actually super nice because I'm getting a bunch of natural light right into my eyes. So for example, in meetings, people can see me clearly, and whenever I need to rest my eyes, I can just turn my head and I'm looking at the craziest view that I've ever seen in my life. So if you're new here, I work as a full stack software engineer, and when I started I was mostly working on web related stuff, but over the past year or so my role has kind of evolved in the more analytics and infra side of things, since that's where the most critical projects have been. You know, as companies scale, different things that you used to be able to outsource to third parties just don't fit the requirements anymore, and in order to 5 or even 10x the business, custom solutions are pretty much needed. So I think those are extremely good opportunities to expand your knowledge and skill set as well as increase your impact. And look, a lot of the stuff I've been doing recently I had never even heard of before, but that's the blessing and a curse of being in tech. Often you just have to jump into things and figure it out. Personally, I like it because it keeps the work feeling fresh.
different type of cocktails, and it's a discount now. Yeah.
What chocolate?
White chocolate,
When did you make this?
I need to try a little more sauce. I'm trying to understand what is this.
What the hell?
Whatever's on top is a good addition to give it a really well.
Okay, go play some jazz.
Got it. Here's a Spotify playlist called Smooth Jazz.
Alright, so we're done with work, had a nice little dinner with the boys Milo and James, and usually during this time I'd like to go to the sauna or even just for a walk or a run, but lately the weather has been kinda dooky and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired right now, so I think I'm just gonna play some Battlefield 1. You know, Battlefield Bad Company 2 was my all-time favorite shooter game as a kid, and Battlefield 1 was right behind it, so when I saw that they made it compatible with the PS5, it would have been rude for me not to buy. To be fair, it was only like $5 in the PS Store, but yeah, right now I'm just gonna eat my Skir Bowl and play some Battlefield.